Republicans can't do math. If I had a dollar for every time I heard a Republican tell me that they don't want their taxpayer dollars to go to pay for illegals, I would be able to retire. But since I don't have those dollars and Republicans don't have cents, let me prove to you what I'm saying is true. So a friend of mine called me today. Our other friend happens to own a daycare, and she got 2 new students today. I said, oh, that's great. Except for these 2 students showed up at the daycare because they are now in foster care. They're in foster care, 2-year-old and 3-year-old, because their parents have been detained. They are U.S. citizens, however, their parents were undocumented. They were working here in our community, paying taxes, contributing to our society, not just in labor, but in love. They were taking care of their own children, providing for them housing, food, shelter, that kind of thing. But now they're in foster care. Do you know who pays for foster care? That would be American taxpayers. Now the children need to eat. Do you know how they will eat? They will eat through the SNAP food program. Do you know who pays for that? American taxpayers. Now they're in foster care. They also qualify for Medicaid. Do you know who will cover that bill as well? That would be the American taxpayer. Also, these children, the majority language that was spoken in their home was Spanish, so they are fluent in Spanish, not so much in English, so they need a translator. Do you know who will pick up that bill, as well as the bill for the daycare where they will go, because their foster parents actually have to go to work? That would be the American taxpayer. That's Republican math at work for you, because you don't want your taxpayers to potentially be spent on providing education for children of undocumented immigrants. That's Republican math. Oh, and we can't forget about the parents, because the last number that I saw showed that it would cost the American taxpayers about $150,000 per person per year to house them at one of the concentration camps that the U.S. has built, you know, like Alligator Auschwitz. Republicans can't do math, which is why they are horrific at the economy, because contrary to popular belief and what Reagan said, trickle-down economics does not work. Tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires is not an actual strategy. It's just welfare on the backs of the working class. Oh, and the poor. You strip their health care and food assistance, housing assistance, strip veterans benefits just so you can give tax breaks to the corporations. Like the corporations who are getting all those government contracts for ICE, for the detention centers that are going to house all the migrants that Republicans don't want to pay for. I told you Republicans can't do math. Have you looked at the GDP lately? What about the jobs report? Do you know that other countries have stopped using the US dollar as their trading currency? Do you know that other countries are building strategic alliances against the U.S.? That's what happens when you elect a narcissistic sociopath who says he's going to run the country like a business, except for he is a failed businessman, never had a successful business. The only thing he has been successful at is fleecing the American public into believing that he can actually do anything besides get on TV and talk. He was really successful at that. He's been a pretty good leader for the fleeced sheep who have believed his lies. Everything from I will not touch Medicaid to Mexico is going to build the wall to why are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? That's what happens when you listen to a pathological liar. You get lied to. Republicans are really bad at math. They think it's better to pay for foster care and food assistance, Medicaid, and translators instead of paying for educating our children. If they understood anything about math, they would know that education for our children is an investment that has an infinite return. But they don't believe in education, just like they don't believe in math. And also reading, because books provide actual knowledge. So we'll just ban all the books that could provide any knowledge or intuition into what may actually be happening right now in our country. Republicans are horrible at math. That's why you see deficits run up when we have Republican leadership. That's why our economy does worse under Republicans, because they don't know how to govern. At some point, Republicans will decide they are tired of paying the price for Republican leadership.